This video is intended purely to communicate information in accordance with the right of free speech.
Any advice given is a suggestion, and anyone seeking such advice should consult a competent professional.
All statements made in this video are my own honest opinion, and they do not represent any other person or body. As such, sharing matters covered in this video is in public interest.
Hi, fancy meeting you here in this little old place. I'm Tish, and this is Echo Echo. I did the first half of the video on mute. So this is me re-recording the intro, and then what I'm going to do is a voiceover because I don't want to re-film the whole thing. Okay? There was a dog up here, Wilbur. He was right. He was right there. Yes. So hope you don't. Well, it's not an enjoyable video, but I felt it was necessary. Actually, I'm denied about doing this video for a long time because the person, like Angelique's, not backwards and coming forwards. And I don't want to stir shit up, but when people are looking at her as a beacon of knowledge, I'd like people to be cautious because she is into MLMs at the moment, currently. And they're all the same. They're all the same, just saying. Okay, so enjoy the video as much as you can. It gets a bit brutal at some parts, but just be careful out there, people. All right, bye. I'm selling these things. They're brooches, but they're in a coaster mold. Yes, they're round big. This one is called Brat. Oh, my Etsy shop is called Echo Echo and Co. So this one says Brat. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of see-through, so you can put it on any shirt and it'll kind of be a different color. And then I've got some more. So this one says serving. No, this one says C-U-N-T-Y. Then this one says serving, C-U-N-T. The rude word. And it's all like little bits and bobs. And it's its own little piece of art you could have. This one says spooky. And this one says dreamer. Oh, it's backwards, Tish. It's backwards. Tish, it's backwards. She doesn't even realize. The voiceover realizes. Ready? Are you ready for her to realize? Turn it around, Tish. Hey, there she goes. She got it. Good on you, Tish. Yeah, that one says dreamer. And it's got like a pony. Yeah, so they're always going to be unique, individual ones because it's all made up of a bunch of junk that I've got just lying around. Oh, and I got these other frames so that you can be a bit smaller. I got a star and a hexagon and a diamond, and it's basically so you can see that my mic's on mute there. Basically I've got lots of bits and bobs all around, from earrings and old necklaces and beads and stickers and stuff like that. Hey, I'm kind of going with my with my words. So for example, I've got this blue box. Look, there's Wilbur. Wilbur's in the frame. All right, I might press fast forward. Oh no, she's about to grab the box. She's going to grab the box. See, here's all the blue stuff. See? So I've got colors sorted out. Anyway, the shop is called Echo Echo and Co. I'll try and link it. Not shipping internationally yet. Looking at prices because it can be pricey, but these won't weigh much. Okay, anyway, let's get on with the anti-MLM stuff. Okay, so introducing Angelique. I do have to re-record this. Oh, what happened to my hair? Thanks for putting up with my sprigging my own business. Ding. Okay, so Angelique came onto the radar after she was in Monate, and I think she was midway up the compensation plan. She wasn't right at the top, but she was at the top 0.1 because anybody who's earning money is at that, okay? Because their income disclosure statement is here. I think they're telling some porky pies at Monations. Anyway, Angelique had an incident that she took to social media because she was very frustrated, understandably. She had earned a spot in a chat where there was a bunch of people who were allowed to look at the chat of SEDs and directors. So they're the top two ranks. Isn't it funny looking at it in retrospect, having that as a perk? You get to look at their chat. And these days, Christina Smallwood's doing daily lives and stuff like that just to get people to engage. Anyway, in that chat, they were muted. They were only allowed to look. They were not allowed to ask any questions. They were not allowed to say anything, comment, or anything like that. And for some people, they did want to ask some questions. And I don't think it was intrusive questions or anything like that. It was just like, hey, what do I do if I need to do this? Or what's your DMO for this? Or whatever. And anyway, Angelique couldn't ask about that thing in the chat because they're muted. So she decided to ask on a Zoom call. Now, retrospectively as well, could she have asked in the DMs and then we wouldn't be having this conversation today? Maybe, you know. Anyway, she said she's not about the petty drama. So there's like pie crust in this has got like beads in it and it's got a little bottleneck. So then you can like tip the beads back into where they got to go. How many times have I knocked it over? 5 or 6. Anyway, so she went to social media and she said that she was just frustrated because she had a lot of Monate people following her and she just wanted to vent, really. And she said that she felt very, like disrespected because she did ask her question in a Zoom and I'm not sure what happened in the end of that Zoom call, but I do know that after that she received a text message from somebody at Monate and one of the SEDs, and she didn't have that person's number or anything, so she had no clue who was texting her, except that she guessed it was Christina Smallwood, which it was. Anyway, Christina Smallwood was absolutely putrid to her in these DMs, was very rude, and, everybody agreed that it was a shitty thing to do, and she was going to take it up with Monate, and she'd been talking to people in corporate about it and so on and so on. Anyway, anti-MLM people caught wind of it. I'm not sure who was first to sort of talk about it, but Angelique eventually went on to do a video with Chelsea, Cissy Suarez, with Roberta Blevins, and I think Mallory, which is another saga of this whole thing. Anyway, we were very much supportive of what was happening because it did seem very unfair. At the time, Angelique was not wanting to leave Monate. She wanted to fix it. But we know with MLMs you can't fix it. Anyway, she got live terminated. She checked her email when she was on Roberta's podcast and she had been terminated. And they gave Christina Smallwood flowers. So that was what they thought. It was pretty brutal. And then Angelique began sort of, I wouldn't say she was ever anti-MLM, but she definitely was anti-Monate, of course. And so she was posting some videos and she was sort of like, just in the community. And then she had a run-in with Mallory, that whole thing. So that's all happening, whatever. I'd seen her write some things in her stories or reels or something which were transphobic. She also asked questions and was very much like, please educate me. And if you're going to ask somebody who's marginalized to educate you, pay them. That's what you need to do. If I'm doing any anti-racist work, I'm going to pay the people, and I have done. If I see a really good reel that teaches me something in my anti-racist journey, I send that person money because they have provided labor. They've worked. You can do it for free. Absolutely. I don't have to pay them. But I think that I honor their work. It is not easy. And so I respect that. And it's the same with trans people. So she was always after this educate, please teach me how this is so. And it was very much connected to her religion, even though she was supposedly supportive of LGB, no, not the T people. And she had either a drag queen cousin or nephew, there's something in there with the nephew, can't remember, doesn't matter because it's like, I've got a black friend, yeah, so she was dissing trans people, and that's not okay. Ever. Never. So I had not really been following her. And then she joined Q Sciences. This had been sort of, I'd been noticing a shift in her. And that's when we get to her sort of joining Q Sciences. Okay, we're going to the voiceover now. Is that enough of an introduction? PS does get a little bit heavy with, we're going to talk about why she's not pro-choice. She's not pro-life, I mean. She's anti-choice. So, yeah, that gets a bit heavy. All right, thanks again. So it started with this post here. Well, this was what was around at the time. Like, looked like she was softening on MLMs, and she did one of those, ask me any questions. And this one says, all MLMs are taking advantage of their sales peeps, even if they sell good products. And she said, I don't think that's true. That's like being in a terrible relationship and saying all men are the same and terrible. But I can definitely see why you'd think that way. Certain MLMs are for sure awful and abusive towards their reps. Sweetie, all of them are, okay? And yeah, that was the clue that she was softening on MLMs. And then the next one, someone said one MLM equals all MLMs. There are good people everywhere, but MLMs, as you know, are all on the same wavelength. It's not about the community. It's always about finding a way to manipulate. You know this. Don't do it. So, she obviously did have some people speaking up, knowing that she was heading towards an MLM. And it's like, you've been through this. You know what happens. You know what's going to happen. Like, she is going to go on to say that people are mean to her, but it's like, you're smarter than this, every criticism that you were leveling at other MLMs, at Monet's, is exactly what all MLMs are like. And she had this gif of Trixie Mattel, which is funny because, she doesn't really support trans people. And Trixie Mattel's just a drag queen, not trans, but, supporting the community, I thought it was a bit in poor taste. That's all. Anyway, so then we got the announcement that she was joining Q Sciences. Okay, and so here we've got God is so good. Oh, I'm so excited. Blah 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 blah. And then she was having a Zoom call, and then we got the this lovely little post. Okay, so it says something at the top, like my heart is sad, even though it shouldn't be, or something like that. I can't see because of that. Yeah, so I never want to hurt or disappoint anyone, but I'm human. I'm not preying on anyone. That couldn't be further from the truth. I've been on social media for many years and never experienced such hate like I did today from a community that claims to care. They care. I've over 100 plus friend requests. I'm trying to sift through and make sure it's not anti-MLM people trying to pick apart and hate. So I'm sorry if you've been caught in that crossfire. I truly feel like I'm sharing products that have helped me in a huge way. That's it. If you're a part of a community that is more focused on spilling tea instead of helping people, please take a look at what you're a part of. My life and my life's choices, life's choices are not for someone to make mean-spirited reels about. No one was right about me. No one called it. If you want to check something out, check out my YouTube video that I made months ago about being bullied by a certain community, because they are proving me right again right now. Thank you to the 3 creators that have spoke to me and not about me, that have met me with truth and grace instead of BS. That community needs more of y'all and less of insignificant thirsty ass mean girls. And she tags Karina DC and Roberta Blevins. Yeah, so that was a lot. And when I first read that, I thought it was pretty shit, actually, because the only person that I thought was like she didn't get along with, or that was bad mouthing her, it was Mallory. And Mallory just got annoyed because she, wanted more of a friendship, and then that all devolved. She's got a legitimate gripe. I don't hold that against her at all. I think before she put that out, I had been not watching Mallory's content for a while. Yeah, and to have to say that oh, these were the only nice people, I don't think that's accurate, and it was disappointing. It was really disappointing. And to say that people are in it to spill tea, no. And I hate when people get hung up on, oh, there's so much drama in anti-MLM. No, there's not. There's fucking not. There's some people who make mountains out of molehills, and I'm pretty lucky. I stay out of it mostly because I'm a little island over here in Australia, literally and metaphorically. And my point is always I'm making content. I haven't got time for this. I'm busy making content. That's what I want to do. That's where my, things lie. That's what I want to do. I get pissed off when my friends get dragged into it. That's for sure. And whenever Savannah gets dragged into it, because Savannah is never in the middle of it, but she always seems to get dragged into things. Love Savannah. Oh, short queens unite. So the other thing, I truly feel like sharing products that have helped me in a huge way. That's it. Really, you could have gotten CBD. Anyway, And I cannot remember anyone saying, like, oh, I knew she was going to do this. I called it. I saw her slipping into, like, she had these posts about, like, not all MLMs the same, and I think, have I already looked at that? Yeah, that's what's the posts that were before this were like, oh, she's joining a new MLM. Yeah, and I was always really surprised because it's like, I miss the community, and it's like, well, don't you have a community with church? Which is my point with most people who say, like, oh, I love the community of an MLM. Yeah, you could probably get it somewhere else where you don't have to pay for the community. Yeah, so I really, really did think that it was terrible that, like there was only 3 creators who were good. So then there was a second page to this. Let's have a look. And lastly, if you want to keep people from something, if your goal is to help people from joining, backsliding, whatever you want to call it, maybe try being a good person to them. Maybe try not using them, manipulating them, faith shaming them, and bullying them. Maybe when they tell you that your words and behavior are hurting them and causing them mental anguish, listen, stop, reflect. Maybe create a safe space for people that isn't filled with toxic drama. Just an idea. So again, like looking at this thing with distance. So this was probably about 2 years ago. I looked at the timestamps. It was about 2 years ago. And the thing is, I think it was a pretty even relationship where she was getting something out of it too. It's like people were using her for content. Absolutely. And she was using them for content as, like she got a lot of attention. Like she's cute and funny and, sassy, and it had a good vibe, until we get to the things we don't like. That's all hidden underneath. All of the religious shaming that she does. Now I am absolutely going to faith shame you if you're transphobic. Okay? I'm going to do it because it's not okay. Trans people have always existed. In Australia, we have our First Nations people who are 50,000 plus BC, okay? And they have a third gender, all right? And we call them sister girls and brother boys. So they have been around for those 50,000 years, all right? And there's many other examples with other Indigenous people, Indian people, Two-Spirit people, in Native people in America and in Canada, and so much more. Anyway, that's when I will faith shame you. Okay. And like I always said, if you have this community with your religion, why are you joining an MLM to get community? Do you know what I mean? And I think that she was using, like this to play the victim a little bit harder so people would leave her alone. Most people I know just went, oh, well, that's a shame, And if people invest in you, right, and you betray that, like, because you were pointing out all of the bad things about MLMs at Monate, you were cognizant of these things. You broke through the cognitive dissonance that exists in people when they're in a cult, when they're in a commercial cult, all right? And you still went back to an MLM. So the people who were very invested in that journey were disappointed. I'm sorry about it, but they were. They had hopes for you because they like you. They were not doing it because they don't like you, because they were really pulling for you. Anyway, she didn't stay with Q Sciences. She pretty much stayed away. Okay, so at some point in time, she must have seen that I put some messages. I wrote a message on something. I can't remember what this was in reference to, but she sent me a DM, and I was really surprised to receive it, actually. And she said, "Hey, Tish, I saw you had some thoughts and opinions you'd like to share. If you have any questions, I'm here. Talking about me and not to me, that's not nice. That's actually hurtful and has a negative connotation as well." She used connotation correctly, but because connotation is the underlying meaning, she already said I had an overlying meaning, Anyway, I said, thanks heaps for that. As in, thanks heaps for the offer to talk. I'm currently filming a video because what did I say before, guys? What am I doing? I'm not doing drama. I'm making a video. I'm making content. Us the Clown Town. That's what I'm busy. I'm busy making content. You don't owe. Oh, I'm currently filming a video, but I will let you know. You don't owe me an explanation at all, but I appreciate your message. I'm sorry for being hurtful. And I'm shuffling on as it honestly has little to do with me. Thanks. Take care, and I hope it all works out for you. And she said, God bless. If you have any questions or concerns, you can speak to me directly. I'm here. I don't know where my hat went. Where did my hat go? It's atrocious, this hair. Anyway, I was very surprised to receive that from Angelique because, as I said, like, it had nothing to do with me. I was no one. I don't think I'd even hit 1,000 subbies then. Like, it was bizarre that, like, why the fuck would you care what I think? You know? Yeah, it was an odd little, like, thing to happen. And I just thought, like, why are you worrying about me? Like, she's got bigger issues, because she had 100 new friend requests and she was trying to do her fast start with her business. Like, I'm like, forget me. Like, who cares what I think? And again, I always take it back to content. What am I doing? I'm going to make a video about an MLM because I want to shut them down because I don't like them. Like, that's what my priority was, and always has been. Yeah, and she didn't owe me an explanation. I can't remember saying anything too inflammatory, but we're going to have a look at something I said. I don't know if I've pre-recorded it or not. Let's cross our fingers because this is supposed to be a quick video, but because you girl leant on the mic like this, that actually mutes it because you can't lean on the mic. Maybe you can do this from behind. Okay, all right. You can see him in his tail wagging. So let's get back to it. Let's go to the next thing, which is I can't remember. Oh, yeah. Okay. So what happened, after this? So I think these were the posts that Angelique was responding to, and this one I think it was to Karina. I didn't see the post you are referring to. Hopefully the damage wasn't bad. What annoyed me was the thing where she said all of us were rude to her, except for you, DC, and Roberta, because that wasn't true at all. She has been given so much kindness and understanding in this decision, a lot more than she deserved, in my opinion, because of the transphobia and stuff. I felt also that she mentioned you three to cause some disruption in our ranks, and that may not have been conscious. I personally started moving away from her content about a month ago, and I'm sad for those she has hurt and angry at how this is more than likely going to be used to divide us. And the next one, my next message, I can't remember where this was either. As much as I do not F with you know who, Angelique is the one who joined a new MLM. Mallory didn't force her back in because a lot of people were putting this on Mallory. Like, oh, she went back because Mallory pushed her out of anti-MLM. I don't think so, but I'll talk about that more. And as much as this sucks, this is Angelique's actions. She had been saying for a long time she missed community, but that was confusing because shouldn't her church have that? I haven't seen anyone cuss her out or bully, and really she is in a new company, so her focus wouldn't be on us. It would be on getting all the fast start shit and getting ahead. I don't know where the rest of that has gone. Okay, so maybe I'm cursed. This video is cursed. Maybe there is a God. Maybe Jesus is real because this video is so fucking cursed. I just recorded 6 minutes of a video, but there was not enough room on my hard drive to record it. And then I just re-recorded it and it was on fucking mute. I hate how this microphone has such an easy mute. Okay. I'm very annoyed. I'm very frustrated. I'm fucking frustrated and I want to eat my pie. Okay. So this, I can't remember, as I said, what this post was on, but, like, I meant it. I hate the drama. I felt that there was a little bit of stirring the pot in there, which I thought was really unfair because she had beef with Mallory and she knew that most of us were not effing around with her anymore. And the one of the people who she said was good was Roberta, who I think is still friends with her. This is what she reacted to. I think that's why she sent me the DM. And, like, I didn't think that my messages were overly, like, whatever, like, bad or anything. But they were to a point, like, like, we need to, like, let's just get back to making content. Don't let it sort of disrupt us and all that sort of stuff. And, knowing that there are people who do want us to fight, because when the focus is on the fighting, it's not about the MLMs then anymore. Like, people are more worried about that. And that's why, my automatic thing is I'm too busy for this. I'm making content. And like there's a part of me that thinks that was on purpose. And looking at the influence that she had, I just wanted people to be careful. And that's what this video is about too. Like looking at people who have charisma, and funny, cute, whatever. But knowing what's underneath that is what is the problem. And she's into MLMs at the moment. Bum Party and Olivita, or Olive Tree people. I just think we need to be careful. Obviously, there's a bunch of amazing creators who were in MLMs and would never go back. Erin and JJ, my faves. I love watching their content. And, alternatively, there are a lot of big creators who haven't done it as well. It's just, I think of Erin said, Tracy, Dirty Dog, Tracy would be a good anti-MLM creator. I agree. I think she's funny. She's beautiful. And she's like, just, really natural on camera. But I think she is a Trump MAGA gal. So, like, I wouldn't want her to be in the anti-MLM space because she's, going to influence people that way. And, looking at Project 2025, I didn't see anything specifically yet that I've found about MLMs, but they want just basically to get rid of the FTC. What's going to happen if we get rid of the FTC? Well, do they do a lot now? They just put out a really good study of income disclosure statements. Amazing. So that was great because it's always like, what are they doing? What are they doing? But if there's no one to report to, oh, damn. I cannot imagine how wild it would get out there, Yeah. Anyway, so that was the hoo-ha about joining Q Sciences, which, as I said, she left pretty quickly. And yeah, then she was just sort of hanging around. Yeah. She was still out and about on the internet and, well, on Instagram being transphobic and, it was pretty shit. Okay, she would ask people to explain it to her. How does this work? And if trans people are this, then how does this work? And it definitely seemed like she was being a TERF, which is trans. Hang on, TERF, trans radical. Look, TERF is because they're not feminists. Okay, that's what the F stands for, a TERF. They're not. They are gender critical people. All right, they're gender ignorant because they don't understand. Because biology, sex is also on a spectrum. Did you know? There's no such thing as just two sexes. There are a variety. And most people ignore intersex people who do exist, who are visible, who are important and represented. There are as many intersex people as there are redheaded people. It's very similar percentages. Okay, so shut the fuck up about trans people. It's got nothing to do with you. And shut the fuck up about trans people. That's my point. Now, the other thing that there was an issue with was she. I wouldn't say that she was. I don't think pro-life people are pro-life. They're anti-choice. All right, they don't care what happens to children. She maybe does, but her position on abortion is pretty. I thought it was ignorant and selfish, but also very nuanced because of the selfishness. So it's very particular to her. So let's take a look at this post. This happened after Roe v. Wade was overturned. Other than the transphobia I was talking about, this was another point where I was not willing to overlook her religion and her points of view just because I thought she was cute and funny. Some of her beliefs are harmful to people. And this was when Roe was overturned. Okay. There was a picture that went with it, but it doesn't matter. I just want to look at this thing. I hope people understand that when you keep saying it isn't a baby, because I think the point was people were saying, like when you get an abortion before 12 weeks or 6 weeks, it's a fetus. Like it's not a baby yet. Like it's not the thing that is born. It's a clump of cells. And that's what she's reacting to. You keep saying it isn't a baby until it's able to live outside the womb. It's a glob of cells. It's a fetus. It feels nothing. You are talking about typo. My children, 4 babies that I pushed out of me that looked like me and their dad. And if you're going to talk about my children, you need to come with all the say it with your chest energy. I get there is extreme fear about losing women's rights, but don't start insulting or demeaning people's children. Making it seem like because they were born under 25 weeks, they are less than, don't matter, just a fetus glob of cells. How dare you? You are upset. Access to abortion is gone. I understand, but keep the conversation there. So I think it was quite odd to have taken it that personally. I think that there are different points of view in that, and that's okay. Those children were her children, no matter how old they were. To her, absolutely. But that's her bond with it. The fetus or glob of cells that I had removed from my uterus when I had an abortion, I do not have a connection to that. It has not ever upset me. I don't regret it, ever. To have had a tie to the boyfriend at the time, oh, thank fuck I don't have to have a relationship with that person. Thank fuck I'd never have to see him again. Very abusive, racist, just the worst, okay? So, yeah. I don't have a connection with them. It doesn't worry me. But that doesn't mean that, like, I'm going to say that you don't have a connection. Obviously you do. You did. You still do have, you know? However, it's more than like what she's talking about. And no one's trying to take any experience away from you. It's just weirdly selfish, okay? I get it. She has every right to be selfish about losing her children. That's awful. Like I said, it's fucking terrible. And I cannot imagine. But why should everybody else now miss out? Like, that's what I'm saying. You know, like, not everybody is in a position of being able to bring a child into this world. They just aren't. Like the 10-year-old who gets sexually abused or raped, like, that's not okay. A mother, anybody who has to have an abortion in the 3rd trimester isn't doing it because they want a fucking abortion. They didn't just have a pregnancy, go all the way to that point in time and say, oh, I think I changed my mind. Oh, no, nah. There's something wrong with the baby or with the mother. That is why people have abortions at that late stage. And Donald Trump, anybody with MAGA, nobody in the fucking world, nobody in America at least, okay, it's probably happening in Palestine, is having a child and it being killed. Infanticide, not happening at like abortion clinics, okay? It's not happening. Anyway, the point is, Roe being overturned, right, isn't going to bring, like, isn't about you. And it was a really dark day. It still is a dark day in women's reproductive rights, like, as a whole. And people with reproductive rights, everybody, you know? Stillborn, still loved. That's fine. Like, it's just, no one's saying that your children didn't deserve the life that they couldn't have, you know? Women's rights begin in the womb. The other thing, too, to note is that a lot of these people now are turning against IVF. And that's something that, you know, if you do want children, like, why would you want to cut off IVF? It makes no sense. Yeah. Anyway, that's a tricky subject. I'm just saying, people are not talking about your children when they're saying things like that. And the overturning of Roe v. Wade was not about you or anyone else who's lost children. It was more of a bigger, like, it was a bit selfish to think of it like that. Anyway, heavy. Sorry, everybody. Okay, we'll have a doggy moment, hey, just to... I just got one here. Now everybody's going to want to get up because Minnie's waking him up with her tail. Okay. After that, like I said, I didn't see her around too much. Then we've got the Monate thing. So she started talking about Monate once. Was this when Tony? I can't remember if it was when Tony was terminated or when it was Angela, but somebody here said, I am dying at how you said Tony's last name. I found you 2 years ago thanks to one sketchy woman in the anti-MLM community, and it's been an honor watching you grow since that company wrongly chose to sabotage with you. You see what influence can do? Anyway, so she kept talking, and then, well, then she joined 2 MLMs, and that's why I think people should be very wary about supporting her. There you go. My DMs were flooded with requests to do a live reaction video. I have to be up in 6 hours, so I hope you all enjoy. And this is all allegedly in my experience and in my opinion. Join the subbies for exclusive content. If I made you laugh, feel free to send your girl some love. Starbucks, Venmo. Because people ask, relax. Yeah, I'm not going to relax, right? Also, Starbucks is supporting Israel, so divest. What is it? Boycott, divest, BDS. Boycott, divest, and support. Don't support them? No? Sever? I can't remember what the S stands for. Okay. Because the reason why we want to be wary is because she's joined Bomb Party. Okay. And she's called the Fizzard Lizard. So this is her current link tree. So there she is in Bomb Party. Bomb Party. And she also joined Olive Tree People. And that's on the second page, so it's a little bit deceptive. So there you go. That's why I think you should be careful of supporting Angelique. Buyer beware. I think Angelique used to say that the anti-MLM space was really left-wing, and I disagree completely. I think it's quite centrist to right. It's not as right-wing as like MAGA, although there have been some anti-MLM people who I would guess would vote Republican, even with the current person who's been ruining the Republican Party for the last nearly 10 years, which, yeah, that surprises me a little bit, but some people enjoy capitalists. So, it's interesting. However, I am left-wing. I wouldn't say I'm a communist. It's just that, like, I think people throw around left-wing and communism a lot in America without really knowing what it means, because of the right-wing who say Kamala Harris and Biden were left-wing, and they are fucking not. Not at all. I'm sorry, they are not at all. Joe Biden is pretty much as right-wing as he just doesn't like Donald Trump. He's really racist, and he's a Zionist, he's very ignorant. So it's just interesting to see from a distance of what people say and do, thinking that it's left-wing when it's not. I think that MLMs are a case study of what can thrive in late-stage capitalism. And I know Julie Jo's talked about it, and Cal Gore did a really good video about it ages ago. Where's Cal Gore gone? I love Cal Gore. Just saying, like, it's got all the aspects of capitalism with all the worst parts of it, like no unions, exploiting workers, the top are really paid the most, stuff like that. Yeah, so you can do whatever you like with your social media. When they did the Digitine, everybody remember when that girl was like, when the Met Gala was going on, and she was like, let them eat cake. And then everybody was like, yeah, no, bitch. And then there was a big blocking thing, and we were blocking, Taylor Swift and Beyonce. Block Beyonce anyway, because she let her video play in Israel, and anyway. you get to choose who you have on your social media and who can influence you. And what they've found when you start with this light, right-wing light, if you continue, the algorithm feeds you what becomes more and more extreme right-wing. And that's why there's a bunch of videos now on YouTube which are like blank to right-wing pipeline, or extreme right-wing pipeline or extreme conservative or MAGA pipeline. That is the reason why there are so many videos about going to the right-wing pipeline, is because that's what feeds the algorithm, because hate sells. I know there's been this like left-wing leak. There's been this like leak. No, it wasn't even it's not a leak. There was what is it even called? Oh yeah, Clowntail's new video about Shannon Blake is out. I'm so excited to watch that. Okay, so there's been an investigation by the DOJ about some right-wing media outlets who have been paid by Russians to do stories about, conservatives, even including disabled people and perverts and stuff like that. And they were already doing those stories, but they got paid like millions to keep on doing it. Why? Because hate sells. Hate sells. And it's disgusting, but it's true. Why did she attack teachers? Hate bait, like rage bait. Absolutely. So, yeah. All right, I'm going to leave it there because the dogs want to go to the toilet. And I want to stop talking about this because it's a bit uncomfy. It's a little bit, it's a little bit awkward because, remember, she's nice, she's funny, she's cute, she's got all those things. But you got to look at what's underneath, and what's underneath is bigotry. And that's not okay, all right? I'm not going to put that aside so that I can get the Monet tea. I'm sure we can get it anyway, all right? I'm sure that it will be out there, and we will be saying goodbye to Monet very soon.
Oh, she thought she was finished. Me, she, the me, that is she. These are readers, and so with red glasses. So look, I was going to make the thumbnail for this video that you are watching, and saw something interesting on Angelique's, because I had some bad screenshots, right? And so, yeah, here we go. I'm like, look at this. A bunch of Amare products. A bunch of fucking Amare products. Has she joined Amare? So she's still got the bomb party there. You can, and she's fully recruiting. Shop Olavita. That's bullshit. I'm pretty unfucking impressed, actually. So here we go. So it says here, 90-day Amare check. Thanks, the Jenny V, for sending me all these goodies. I'm excited to see what the next 90 days look like for my mental health, mood, energy, and gut health. Can I tell you what it's going to be, Angelique? It could be a fucking, what's it called? Placebo effect. But also, there's nothing that proves that this fucking works. And we know because we asked for the white papers, which is the fucking research that they say that all of their findings are based on. And there's no research that they're based on. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Okay? Yeah, honest, transparent, so good. Oh my God. Oh, and this person's claiming to have lost weight on Happy Juice. I'm disgusted. This is what you're doing with your influence. She has how many followers? 31K followers. And a big reach in the anti-MLM space. Like, I cannot imagine the amount of people who are going to backslide. She fucking said it in her thing, which is saying, oh, people are saying I'm backsliding or I've, let people down. Yeah. Like, I just can't believe. Like, I can, though. I can. Because she's a hypocrite. She's a fucking hypocrite. That's what she is. She preach. I love Jesus. Yeah, really? Because Jesus would love trans people. Okay? Yeah, just thought I'd give you that update. She's just fully embraced, what it is. Ingredients breakdown of what? Oh, see, she's still shitting on fucking Monet, right? Cult. You're in a cult too. The cult of MLMs. You're in Olive Tree people. You're in Bum Party, which is one of the worst as far as like making people buy products. Okay, the inventory loading of Bum Party and the lack of getting your money back is phenomenal, and you just have to watch DC's videos to see that. And Mrs. Pico Speaks and Wendy and Lushy, like, really? And now, fucking Amare. Please don't follow this person. All right, okay. Now we'll go back to my fucking actual end of the video. I was like exporting. It was exporting. I stopped the export to just do this little update. When did she do this? 4 days ago. What's in her stories? Probably shit about Monet. Yep, there you go. Monet. I wish she wasn't a bad person. Oh, yep, see? Here, Bum Party. Oh, and she's freaking diamonds. Monet. More Monet. Monet. Oh, that's Joe Siegel. That's Veronica Bay's sister. Have we got more Monet here? Yep. Monet. That's Monet too. Monet. Oh, hang on. Let's have a look. We saw Julie Stevens get a felony Melanie who literally committed fraud. Okay. Yep. This is all shitting on Monet, isn't it? Oh, yeah. She gave her the felony special. Yeah. So look, I think it's such hypocrisy, so hypocritical of her to be shitting all over Monet and just like being fully bought into all the other shit of the other MLMs. Like, fuck this bullshit. Okay, that's it. Goodbye. In fact, we're having a funeral on Friday the 13th. Very excited with the clown town. We're not streaming on Sunday. I'm going to do a social scroll, and I've invited someone, and hopefully we can stream together. All right, I'm going to go now. Thanks for being here, and yeah, we'll see you next time. Okay, bye. 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 Bye.